Another popular form of art that we see is piercing itself. People like to pierce their ears. Even my ears are pierced. But this is part of the Hindu samskaras called karna chedana or karna bheda, which has to happen at the age of 3 or 4 or less than that actually. When we are talking about body piercing, again Indian form of piercing, especially for the women, is piercing their nose right about here, or in certain states, in certain cultures, women also pierce their septum. The piercing of the nose and the septum signifies that a woman is married and the other bachelor youth should keep away from her. It also signifies that she is of childbearing age and therefore to be respected. I think it was a beautiful way of managing the marital status of women in the past. One must look at the Batu caves of Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, where every year there's a festival called Thaipusam, which attracts a lot of people who hook on weights, who hook on hundreds, dozens if not hundreds of lemons on their body. They pierce tridents in their tongues, and they do all sorts of body piercing as an act of faith. They do this for carrying holy water. It's called kavdi. And I was talking to one of these kavdi carriers and I asked him that it must be very painful to have pierced his body temporarily and then walk up 200 odd steps into a cave. And to my surprise, he said that he doesn't feel a thing. In fact, he felt that by piercing these points in his body, there was a divine energy flowing through him, and he was as pure as the water being carried in the kavdi itself. Not only in the case of Indians, or in the case of Hindus, or in the case of dharmic people, mortification of flesh exists in Christianity, where people crucify themselves to experience vicariously the pain / pleasure that Jesus Christ underwent when he was crucified. Self-mortification also is practiced by Muslims of a certain section, mourning the death of Khalifa Ali, and these guys are known as Shias, and they regret the fact that they killed the son-in-law of Muhammad Prophet.
I'm going hard about it till there's no more room left, and you ain't never seen nobody sitting through this. You got space, tat it up, tat it up, tat it up, tat it up. First off, yeah, I'm tatted up, and my bitch too. You just got a bunch of different names like a bitch too. You the type of nigga in the book tryna pick through. I be getting blasted, motherfucking click. Duck move, no pen, but you could call me big man. Showing skin, you ain't going ham like a Islam. Light to a dark skinned nigga with no tan, no shirt in this bitch. Hollywood, Hogan, Frankenstein tatted on me cause I am a gusto. Face like an Aztec, hand bones fire so. All the ideas, yeah, my motherfucking lights on. See it from the front or the back like an iPhone. Walk inside the room and I'm the one they got their eyes on. Me say, you ain't even fucking with my DJ. Catch up, you ain't even started on your sleeves yet. Need to book a couple more sessions trying to reach us. Ink gun stuck into my flesh is like leeches. All that shade and shows that you just saw. And if you got a problem, middle finger read, fuck off. I'm on some new shit, how my face look. I know you wish you thought of this like Facebook. And I don't talk, give a fuck how the case look. Cause niggas trying to steal my shit, Bill Gates crooks. And I could pass for a vato if you tatted. Nigga, I'm Picasso. I'm the shit, you could get it on your nostrils. You could take a picture or get it on your...
Tattoos these days seem to only appeal to the young people, to a certain kind of lifestyle. It is almost associated with rebellious nature. It is associated with hard rock, metal, death metal, biking gangs, sports, druggies. You know, all those people who are not very welcome in the so-called society or the framework of accepted behavior. But you'll be surprised to know that most of the form of tattooing, the form of tattooings that are even today in practice, have been derived from religious rituals. Not just in the case of India, of course in the case of India it's very true, but worldwide most of the things that we call as mortification of flesh has its origins in religious observations, religious rituals. In fact, a very famous, a very popular form of tattooing derives its origin from the Buddhist Indian monks who used to tattoo, you know, on their backs, on their neck, yantras representing the Vajrayana form of Buddhism, the Tantra form of Buddhism. Now we call it Sak Yantra,